Business delegates and tourists visiting Kenya have raised concerns about traffic nightmare between the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport and Nairobi city centre that has seen several of them spending hours in traffic and even missing their flights. This is something the government is seeking to address by first striking the commuter train service between JKIA and Syokimau for a link to the city centre ahead of the planned direct flights between Nairobi and New York this October.
We are going to do a light rail from here to connect to Syokimau station of the SGR. This is important because one of the key issues in Nairobi is the kind of traffic congestion which we've had, flying into Nairobi.
The government has secured funds to revamp Terminal B, C and D at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport.
This is to ensure that within a few years from now, the capacity of this airport will be enhanced from the current 7.5 million to 12 million passengers.
Government officials who hosted a delegation of 60 government and business leaders from the US said direct flights between Nairobi and New York would positively boost trade and tourism in the two countries.
And we expect with the introduction of KQ flight daily, we should go to over 20% growth in that market.
Our trade and investment ties is a top priority for the President, for U.S. government officials, for the American business delegation, and I know it's a top priority for Kenya as well, for the Kenyan government and for Kenyan business.
We of course will stimulate trade, we will stimulate direct, indirect employment, tourism, some education exchange. I really believe that this product will just facilitate some of the decisions.
Kenya Airways is optimistic that the American Transport Security Agency will give a good assessment of JKIA ahead of the inaugural October flight to the US. The US delegation urged Kenya to consider direct flights between Nairobi and Washington, D.C. Kenya Airways has been seeking for direct flights to the US for over a decade. Another Jomo Kenyatta International Airport was awarded Category 1 status last year. This paved way for the American Security Transport Agency to conclude its audit on the JKIA security status. And the only thing remaining is the issuance of the last point of departure, which will pave way for the Boeing that is behind me, 7878, to land in JF Kennedy in New York come October. Caroline Jenga reporting for NewsHour Business.